Well, kids are back in school, and after a long day in the classroom, they need to refuel. I'm here with naturopathic doctor and certified nutritionist, Dr. Sherri Jacobs, to talk about some healthy after-school snacks that children will love. Now, first, Sherri, why is it so important that they get an after-school snack?
Well, you have to refuel for the day, and you got to recreate those brain cells. And then you also have to pick the right snack so that you still have room for dinner. You want a really good balanced dinner later on. So you want to be fairly particular about what you give after school.
Now, we have an awesome looking spread here. Can you tell me what some of these are and what makes them a great after-school refuel?
Well, we always think about variety. Kids love variety. And I always tell my moms, just give kids plenty of different things to eat, and they will choose. Don't get the junk out of the house. Get the junk out of the house, they'll eat what you put in front of them eventually. Okay. They might argue at first. So you might be a little surprised to see that we've got full-fat dairy here. We are big proponents of doing full-fat dairy, especially for kids. They're growing their brain cells. It's really important that they get the protein and the fat.
Okay.
You know that peanuts seem to be a big deal these days. So many people have peanut allergies. So we really like other nut butters like almond butter. There's cashew butter. There's sunflower seed butter. So we've got these little rolls here. We put banana and almond butter around them, and then a little flour tortilla. Kids love those. We've got hummus is great, and then I think your favorite, the ants on the log.
I was telling Sherri earlier that was my favorite snack after school, the good old ants on the log.
You can't really go wrong with ants on the log. Smoothies are fantastic too, because you can fit a ton of different nutrients into a smoothie. You can get a really good protein powder. You know, put your kids' favorite fruits in there. You can put, again, these nut butters, these full-fat yogurts or cottage cheese. Whip it all up, and kids get a nice balance.
Now these ones also intrigued me, and you want to talk a little bit about what those are?
Well, lots of different vegetables. Kids will really eat vegetables, especially when the vegetables have lots of different colors. So the varieties that are out right now, we've got purple carrots, and they're yellow on the inside, purple on the outside. So kids are used to eating the orange carrots, but if you can change it up a little bit, I think kids get intrigued by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you have to worry about them eating too much after school and spoiling their dinner? What's a good kind of portion? I know you said you don't really need to worry about portion control, but you still want them to eat a healthy dinner as well.
Right. Well, that's the key, is giving kids all the foods, the natural foods, the healthy foods. They won't overeat these foods. You can't really overeat carrots and hummus, and you'll get satiated, but just satiated to the point that you still want dinner a few hours later. Again, keep the junk out of the house, and then you don't have to worry about portions so much.
Okay. And do you need to worry about any particular snacks, say if your kid's heading to soccer practice or to dance class? Do they need to eat anything specific to kind of fuel them for that?
It really depends on the kids. Just like adults, we're all unique and individual. So you want to start with something very light. Do like maybe a little bit of a smoothie or some fruit, like some watermelons. See how they do. If their performance is enhanced by that, then you're right on the money. Now, if you give them, some kids need a little bit more protein. They might need a little turkey or something, turkey and cheese beforehand. So really see how they perform, and then you'll get a feel for what they need beforehand.
Great. Now we have a couple additional health tips to keep in mind for your kids. You put together a nice list for us to help kind of guide parents to keeping their kids healthy. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, except I'm not wearing my glasses. But so we want to focus on protein and fats. That's our big one. We want to keep kids hydrated, as you mentioned earlier. It's really hot out there.
Right.
But just like adults, sometimes we're not hungry. We're just thirsty. So if you have some extra water, you might not want to have all the snacks or need the extra food.
Great.
Again, don't worry too much about portions. Just focus on the good, healthy fats and the proteins, and you'll have a good balance for the kids.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Sherri. Really awesome ideas to kind of keep your kids healthy and fuel them after a long day at school. We'll have more news and weather coming up after the break.